Harrison has to be Johto's most important rival. This guy came out of the blue looking like a Pokemon breeder, then casually pulled out a Blaziken in Johto and made the Pokedex throw its hands up and go, Blaziken, the spoiler Pokemon. My shift is over now, bye. Before Ash could figure it out, Harrison was already standing across from him in the toughest battle of the entire Johto League. A full-on dogfight between Charizard and Big Chicken Man. The battle that ended Ash's Johto dreams. Yes, he came all the way from Hoenn just to make Ash cry in Johto. No excuses this time. Then immediately loses to a guy called John frickin' Dixon. Really? His main purpose was being the bridge between two generations of Pokemon. The first glimpse of Hoenn, introduced by a Hoenn version of Ash who didn't get his own series, but deserved one way more than Jimmy. Harrison is a trainer from Little Root Town, but he's first seen towards the end of the Johto anime where he becomes one of Ash's final rivals during the Silver Conference. Unlike many rivals, Harrison isn't into trash talking and petty arguments. He's just a skilled trainer who loves traveling and learning. At first, he doesn't seem like anything special. Casual wear, polite, friendly, you know, the type of guy you'd ask to watch your pencil case while you go to the bathroom, which makes it incredibly funny when you realize he's carrying one of the biggest plot twists in Pokemon history. Even his name reflects that simplicity. Hazuki is a fairly ordinary Japanese surname, while Harrison is an equally ordinary English name. Everybody remembers him as the Blaziken guy, the walking DLC pack before it was purchasable. And to be fair, if you casually introduced an entirely new generation of Pokemon by having a giant kickboxing flaming chicken throw hands with Charizard, people are going to remember that. At the time, seeing something go toe-to-toe with Charizard was mind-blowing. But what made Harrison impressive is how he wins. Ash doesn't lose because of bad luck, Team Rocket interference, or Pikachu suddenly forgetting how electricity works. He got beat fair and square. Harrison really puts it into perspective, something that the viewers tend to forget. There are thousands of trainers, each with their own stories, having their own adventures. And we just happen to be watching Ash's version. In another series, Harrison probably is the main character. In the Pokemon Johto series, the crew wait to see the conference torch at the Ho-Oh Shrine. Togepi runs in when the attendant opens the door, which gives the crew permission to trespass. Some crybabies complain about the shrine being too dangerous and go running home. So the attendant is like, we need some main character energy, and asks Ash for help. Until Chadison comes in saying no problem, even though nobody asked him. He introduces himself by saying he is the main character from Little Root if the damn show swapped out Ash during Hoenn. The attendant is like, seems legit, and tells them the story of Ho-Oh, that this magical, mystical, otherworldly creature with powers unfathomable was a nice bird. A very nice bird that did nice things. They need its flame to light the torch, but it's being guarded by a not-so-nice bird which may not actually be a bird because it's a Sneasel. They agree to go stop the Sneasel. When they get to the top of the stairs, Ash gets pushed down by Machoke and Machop, Sneasel's cronies, but gets caught by Prince Brock and Harrison. That could have been bad. He could have broken his back. The cronies are held off by Misty and Harrison while Ash goes straight for the big dog. Sneasel is like, whoa, look, a distraction, and big dummy Totodile falls for it, only to get open palm smacked, scratched, and blasted away. Ash goes rolling down the hill with Totodile miraculously without a scratch, then goes back up to take on the muscle heads with Harrison and launches them down the hill like the underwear models they are. Wait a minute, Machop's not even wearing underwear. Team Rocket attempt to steal Sneasel and fail horribly. Harrison's like, right. Go Blaziken. Wait. What? You can't do that in Johto. Ash gets out his Pokedex and it's like, do your own damn research, you lazy fuck. Anyway, Blaziken starts styling on the Sneasel, dodging the Shadow Ball and giving it a two-piece with no sides. And it's out like a dirty weasel, so Harrison catches it. I wonder if he's going to use it. They get the Sacred Flame, everyone's happy, and I will be too if you subscribe to my channel. We have a huge goal of 2,500 subs by the end of July. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for the growth of the channel so far. Now enjoy the rest of the video. Ash is relieved he doesn't have to deal with that menace of a Blaziken until Harrison says, see you in the tournament, kiddo, and peaces out. The next day, Ash is speaking with Jackson and gets called out when his Pokemon gets in a Kanto Johto hood fight. Harrison's Miltank breaks the fight with friendship. Ash almost gets arrested by Officer Jenny, but Harrison and Gary bail him out by lying. Remember kids, lying is good. Always lie. But don't tell anyone I told you to. It's tournament time and Harrison is just taking out the trash, beating a bunch of nobodies off screen while Ash goes through hell, facing Jackson, and Gary. Harrison observes Ash versus Gary, and there's no doubt in my mind he used this to prepare for all of Ash's tricks. That's why you shouldn't trust nice guys. Following Ash's victory, he faces off with Harrison. They begin with Pikachu versus Kecleon. Ash is like, what the hell is that? As Kecleon disappears while staying in plain sight. Or maybe I'm just built different, that's why I can see these things. Kecleon starts using Pikachu as the midpoint of its Formula 1 track, before getting freaky with some tongue action to let Pikachu know he's interested. When Pikachu rejects him, he decides to blast the guy and just look at Politoed's face. Kecleon uses its Super Tornado tongue twister and Pikachu grabs that thing. What's the matter, Kecleon? Rat's got your tongue? Get it? Rat? Okay, moving on. Just zap that guy so we can forget about all of this. Harrison sends out Sneasel, who just dodges a bunch of Thunderbolts and one-shots Pikachu with Metal Claw. So that happened. Ash goes with Totodile for round 2. Watergun is dodged and countered with Metal Claw, but Totodile just bites it and starts doing the no pants dance, swinging Sneasel up and down like a kid playing with a yo-yo for the first time, and then finishes it off with a tail smack, which isn't even a move, so he cheated. Harrison's getting warmed up and sent out Bill Cosby. Brock's like, wait, I know that guy. And Totodile gets right into it with Leer, which does nothing. Hypno uses Hypnosis, and Totodile thinks it's a great idea to look directly at the pendulum, even though everyone tells it not to, and Psychic sends Totodile back to the ball where it should stay forever. Next is Big Booty Snorlax, who comes out sleeping. Instant disqualification. Not because the show didn't really have any rules at the time. Dream Eater wakes Snorlax up, and it is pissed. Worse, it's hangry. Even Bill Cosby knows he messed up, just as Snorlax blasts him back to the bar. Ash's Snorlax magically disappears from the battlefield. Kinda weird. And Noctowl is sent out versus Steelix. Confusion hurts Steelix, who counters with a Sandstorm to blind the bird. And a Dig Attack on a flying type? They really gave Ash all the debuffs for this battle. Steelix then whips Noctowl with an Iron Tail for the win. Snorlax comes back out and immediately gets wrapped up. Steelix goes for a crunch even though it's got like 2 teeth. Snorlax doesn't play that freaky shiz and chin checks Steelix and hyper beams it while it's rocked for a devastating KO. Houndoom comes out and decides to cheese Snorlax by using counter against his hyper beam to one-shot it. Ash sends out Bayleaf, and even Harrison's like, really bro? Bayleaf starts off strong by muzzling that dog and slams it to the ground, no difficulty. Then body slams the ever-living snot out of Houndoom. And holy pants, Bayleaf, where the hell did that even come from? And where was it for the rest of the damn series? I wonder what Harrison's last Pokemon will be. Blaziken, no way. It starts kicking Razor Leafs, leaving Ash looking like Bayleaf, then catches Vine Whip with one hand. There's no way he's not aura farming. Then he punches that fat dinosaur head and says, who's next? Well, Big Boy Charizard is out and Blaziken can't be playing around with this guy. They greet each other with a nice flamethrower and get right to business. Blaziken must have had speed boost already because this guy is ridiculously fast, dodging flamethrower and Dragon Rage, then jumping 5 kilometers into the air like it's nothing. Charizard isn't a slouch though, he's also dodging and firing off some powerful attacks. The two decide just to get scrappy and throw defense right out the window, trading hit for hit and getting down and dirty. Charizard had enough of this phone booth fist fight and snatches Blaziken up for a deadly seismic toss, and they both get slammed straight into the ground. It appears like Charizard won as Blaziken's snoozing on the ground. Then it remembers that it left the oven on and suddenly springs back up. Brock noticed that Blaziken used flamethrower on the floor to soften its fall during the seismic toss. I'll say this now, Harrison saw Ash finish Gary's Blastoise with that, and thought, nope. So they trained to defend against it. I mean, who wouldn't? That move's been putting guys out for God knows how long now. Charizard is mad that Blaziken didn't follow the script, and they get back to slugging it out. Blaziken lands a nasty Blaze heel kick, and somehow Charizard isn't out. They both desperately go for a final clash, Dragon Rage versus Flamethrower, and they're still standing? Finally, Charizard goes down from exhaustion. At least he went down with his pride and dignity. God damn it, the swirly eyes. Ash is astonished, like he didn't make the choice to use Bayleaf against Harrison despite him having 3 Pokemon strong against it. Fast forward to the next match, which was decided to not have enough star power to have a full episode dedicated to it. Harrison and John Dixon. Really? It's like someone used a top 100 names website and just took 2 at random. They're down to their last Pokemon, and Harrison's Houndoom gets bopped by a Rhyhorn and loses. The announcer and Brock confirmed that Harrison didn't use Blaziken due to it being exhausted after the battle with Charizard, and the battle may have been different without it. Hint, hint, Harrison was actually the best in the tournament, and he would have smoked John Dixon and the other guy who lost in the finals. But he kicked that golden boy in the face, and as a Charizard fan, justice has been served. Charizard was solely responsible for Harrison losing. By the way, Harry, Charizard took on Gary's Blastoise and didn't take off a match to rest. Just saying. At night, Harrison is reflecting on his loss, and Ash is probably thinking, why the hell did you use Blaziken against me and not Johnny Boy? Anyway, Harrison gives them an advert for the Hoenn region. The next day, once the tournament is wrapped up, he says goodbye to the crew and Gary. But what's a goodbye without a good old spanking Team Rocket? He wants to go see Professor Oak and do the Kanto Gym Challenge, so he heads back with Gary while the crew head to Hoenn. That's the end of Harrison's story. Knowing that he wanted to compete in the Indigo Conference, it would have been cool to see him battling on TV while Ash is competing in the Evergrande Conference. He could have even won the Indigo Conference. Thank you if you made it this far. Please leave a like and comment if you wanted to see Harrison make a significant comeback. Imagine he returned to Hoenn after winning the Indigo League and helped Ash train for the Evergrande tournament. That would have been amazing. See you all in the next one.